All right, man. Peace. So, a lot of times, some of these Kobe Bryant fans, they give me a hard time about me saying that Kobe Bryant is not a top 10 all time player. I've stated numerous times that I would put him between 11 to 15, in that same area with Isiah Thomas and Dr. J and Moses Malone. That's not an insult. Oscar Robertson, Jerry West, around that area. Elgin Baylor. Those guys, you could debate who's 11 to 15. I caught this little snippet from Game 3 of the 1991 Eastern Conference Finals between the Pistons and the Bulls. And I remember this. This event, this play, when I was a child, and how astounded I was as a child when I saw Isiah Thomas do this. And I just wanted to post it for a lot of people who are not familiar with how great Isiah Thomas was and how phenomenal of an athlete he was. People talk today about Russell Westbrook and Derrick Rose and the greatest athletic point guards. And Isiah Thomas is not only the greatest little man to ever play, he's one of the great athletes to ever be in the NBA. And I'm gonna show you this right here. Right now, the Pistons are down 0-2. It's Game 3 in Detroit. They're down in Chicago. They're gonna get swept. We know that in postscript. But right now they're fighting for their life in Game 3 in Detroit. There was a loose ball situation. Isiah Thomas, he wrestled the rebound away from Will Perdue, the backup center for the Chicago Bulls, the 7-foot backup center for the Chicago Bulls. Keep in mind, Isiah Thomas is about 6'1". Will Perdue's about 7 feet, a little over 7 feet. So they scrap for a loose ball. So now it's going to be a jump ball. Watch what happens.
The next on a worm stick back. Now Isiah will jump against Perdue.
And I guarantee you, he's going to go up. He thinks, in his mind, he can get this tip. Of course, the movement after the ball is thrown up is key.
He taps it. Dumars has it left foot. Back to Isiah, top side. Inside to Sally, turning, trying to force it up through the foul.
George, did he explode or did he explode?
Even the announcers are talking about how Isiah Thomas exploded into the air, man. Now watch this replay. Look at how Isiah Thomas exploded off the ground.
And Isiah went way up to outjump the 7-foot.
Look at that shit. Now we know that this is perspective, but Isiah Thomas's head is even at the rim. Now we know that it's perspective, so his head is not literally at the rim. But he well outleaped the 7-foot Will Perdue. And keep in mind, this is Isiah Thomas at about 30 years old. This is not him at 20. All right?
7-foot plus Will Perdue.
I'm going to rewind it again. And Michael Jordan also is on record. He made the news in the sports world when he made a lot of comments at his basketball camp. When he said that Kawhi Leonard was the best two-way player, that Kobe was, that he would rank Kobe over LeBron. But he also, and this is one of his comments that really nobody picked up on, he also said that the toughest player he ever had to guard was Isiah Thomas. Once again, look at how great of an athlete Isiah Thomas was. Now, we hear about how great of a point guard Isiah Thomas was, a decision maker, passer, ball handling, clutch player. But you very rarely hear about how great of a natural athlete he was.
And Isiah went way up to outjump the 7-foot.
Look at that shit, man. The man, everybody says, oh, well, Allen Iverson was the most athletic little man. If Isiah Thomas played in the same system that Allen Iverson played in, he could have averaged 30 a game, and he wouldn't have shot 40% like Allen Iverson shot.
7-foot plus Will Perdue.
Spider at the stripe. Shooting two on Jordan's foul after Isiah's incredible leap. Missed the first.
Oftentimes when you get a 6-foot guard going against a 7-foot center, he doesn't even jump. He puts no effort into it. But Isiah, again, trying to lead by example. Oh, he went to the sky and got that tip.
He can't jump any higher.
No.
Now, back in that time period, you had other 6-footers who were good athletes, like Kevin Johnson also was a phenomenal athlete. Those of us who grew up in that era, we remember when he dunked over Hakeem Olajuwon. But I just wanted to include this clip because Isiah Thomas, like I said, to me, he's just as great an overall player, just as impactful as Kobe Bryant was, and he gets very little credit for that. I mean, you can argue, I wouldn't put him in there, but you could argue he's top 10 all time. He's definitely the greatest little man to ever play. And like I said, he doesn't get the acclaim of an Allen Iverson, who did not make his teammates better anywhere near to the degree of an Isiah Thomas. Isiah Thomas carried his team, or I should say led his team, not carried. He led his team to 2 championships. And had he not made the mistake that he made in the Boston Garden in Game 4, they would have went to 3 straight finals. I don't know if they would have beat the 87 Lakers, but he would have led them there, you know. Oh, pardon me, 4 straight, because they won in 88 and they won in 89 and 90. You know, had he not thrown the ball away to Bird in Game 5 in 87, that would have been 4 straight finals that the Pistons would have went to.
From a standing start. Give him a little run, he'd get up a little better, but not much. Spider splits the pair. 77.
But anyway, I just wanted to include this, you know, for people who may not have seen Isiah Thomas play and may not have gotten quite an understanding on how great of an overall player and athlete he was. But anyway, peace. And once again, keep in mind, this was him late in his career. This was not him at 24, 25. This was him at about 30 years old. All right. But anyway, peace.